Hey, folks. I really don't know what I'm going to say tonight. I guess it just depends on my stream of consciousness. Uh, still sitting here at home, um, pretty much 24/7, 365, taking care of an old lady in hospice. And not only is she physically bedbound, but she's mentally disabled, dementia. I really don't know what the difference is between dementia and Alzheimer's. I know there's maybe some things that they say, but it really is all the same thing. Sometimes the old lady wakes up in the morning and she didn't know who the hell I am. Hey, 12 Bravo, good to see you, dude. Or she thinks she's in a facility, and the only facility, sorry, I got some teeth missing, but the only facility that she is in is right here in this residence, in a normal neighborhood across the street from the park, tennis courts. What else we got over there? Disc golf. That way is the ballpark. And over there, it's the dog park. Anywho, here I sit. And I just watched a good bit of Terrain, the film.com, and it gives you eye-opening look into what is really reality. And what's really reality is that this scamdemic, this plandemic was bullshit from the very beginning. You just gotta, me, I'm an average dude, maybe even a touch below average, but I know how to use my God-given brains. And I figured out within the first fucking week or so, back in March 2020 or so, that this whole thing was just crap. You just got to have two brain cells left to rub together to figure out when Fauci opens his mouth that he's full of shit. But there are still some people who think that, there's an extra special test you can take that will prove that you have the Wuhan wiggle, the CV, the corona. And one of those idiots, and I know I've repeated myself, that he got the special test to prove that, he either did or did not have the Wuhan wiggle. Well, Moose is a really smart guy. He knows how to build weapons. He knows a shitload about weapons, but he doesn't know shit outside of that. And, a few other survival things, But, yeah, even my brother, who's older than me, went out and got the goddamn jab. I don't know how many times he got the jab, maybe one or two. Maybe he's got the booster, as Fauci says. The booster. Go out and get your booster, then you're fully vaccinated. Well, here's one thing for Herr Fauci. Fuck you. Okay? I've come into contact with a hell of a lot of people over the last couple of years in hospice, taking care of my wife, and outside and coming to a hell of a lot of Tom, Dick, and Harry's and Janes and whatever, you know. Still, I'm still alive. I barely got a fucking cough. And it's amazing I don't cough a hell of a lot more because I smoke cigarettes, I smoke pot, I drink alcohol to excess at times. And still, I'm here. I'm not I'm not in a hospital. I haven't been put on a ventilator. Way back in, I believe it was early March of 2020, I called EMS 911, and what I had was heart palpitations. Okay, oh fuck, no wonder, because I do a lot of shit that I shouldn't be doing health wise. Guess what? I was in the hospital for one fucking night, went home the next fucking day. You know why? Because it was probably a fucking panic attack. It was a fear attack. And guess what? The New World Order has many, many ways of putting that fear into you. And after that hospital stay, I was like, oh, wow. Now I'm really getting ready to go after the New World Order. These son of bitches, anytime you try to say anything that is contrary to their narrative, they're going to do everything they can to shut you down if you get more views than they think you should. Like, if you get, let's say 500 views, okay? And you convince out of that 500, one person that what you said was the fucking truth, they're going to fucking try to shut you down because they know there's something in your soul that drives you to fight back. Yeah, my old lady got up this evening and was spouting off a whole bunch of stuff because she's got dementia. I understand that. But man, it blows my mind, and sometimes I go off the deep end and I yell and scream and whatever. But, it's not because I don't understand her condition. But you have to understand that certain conditions, especially dementia or what they call Alzheimer's, it's all basically the same ball of wax. But I truly believe that these people with dementia are very close to being demon possessed. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go in there and take out my old lady. Okay. I've been taking care of her, especially for the last 2 years, but 15 years really. That, the last 2 years have been hell. She's gone through all kinds of strange mental gyrations, you might say. And man, I'm telling you, it's been exhausting, not just physically, but mentally. I mean, my God, unless you've taken care of a person for a year or two or more that's had dementia, you can't comprehend it because it goes from one thing to another. Like one day they'll say, "Oh, do you like your job here?" And I'm her husband. I sleep in a bed right across from her, just a few feet away. And it's like, yeah, I love my job here, or, I'll say something else, because it doesn't matter what I say to her, because maybe 20 or 30 minutes later, she comes back to semi consciousness and she realizes that, you know, what she told me was really bullshit. But yeah, dementia, dementia slash Alzheimer's, man, that shit fucking sucks, man. And, you know, I don't have any of that kind of shit in my background. My dad was mentally 100% up, up until almost the moment he died, you know. And so, I don't know, it's just really weird, you know. Some people get that shit and some people don't. You know, they say it's caused by some environmental factors, and I can kind of believe that, like aluminum, and some other things in the environment that have been linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. But I'm beginning to believe as I get older that, and it comes from my faith, you know, because like I've showed you many times before, I'm a Christian, okay? But I believe that it's very possible that these people who have dementia and Alzheimer's are possessed quite possibly by the dark side. You know, they don't know how to die. They don't know how to live their last days. It's just a fact. What I think is a fact. You know, you can think what you want. But yeah, it's spooky, man. I mean, this shit's really, it's almost to the point where I'm going to just have to say fuck it and put her in a nursing home or, assisted living facility for people with dementia or whatever. But I've gone on with this for 2 years now, coming up on 2 years really quick, like in March, the beginning of March. But, other than that one stay I had in the hospital way back in 2020, March of 2020, in there one fucking night, I went home because I knew that I was being, well, after a couple of days, I knew I was being attacked. You know, this focused energy from uh, these demonic entities, i.e., globalist. A lot of people don't want to believe that, but globalists are really the people that were fighting between and I would say it's a spiritual war. Let's put it that way. Sorry, y'all can't hear me. That some of you can't hear me, but I'm doing. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm probably going to end it on this note right now. You have to be able to, if you believe in the good Lord, whichever Lord that is, Jesus Christ for me, that you need to be very careful of the voices that are coming to your head. You need to believe with both of your eyes, your heart, your mind, that Jesus is the only one to listen to. And I basically told that to my wife tonight, have a conversation with the good Lord, Jesus Christ, and, You're on a downhill slide physically, mentally, everything. I was just trying to be really straightforward with her, but she still didn't quite get it, because I do believe that there's a demonic presence in some of these situations. I don't know if it's in this situation, but I believe that I have to keep beating that point home to her. Because, I mean, when I say she's physically disabled, she is bedbound 99% of the time, maybe 98% of the time. She has no physical well-being where she can get up and walk over to the wheelchair. I have to carry her to the wheelchair, carry her to the commode. But really, the main point of this whole fucking thing is, you've got to understand that the crap going on in the world is absolutely demons. I'm not saying there's not a big wide universe out there or anything. I do believe that there's a big wide universe, and there's a creator, and there's a God, and there's a Jesus, and they are all the same being, and we have to acknowledge that, please. Yeah, Biden is a piece of shit, man. I mean, God, he says he's a Catholic, but on the other hand, if you're a real Catholic or a Christian or any Protestant religion, you know that taking a human life before it's even born into this world is an abomination. And I won't go too deep into that, but I'm just saying, this nation has got to wake up. We can take care of the children that maybe the mothers can't take care of because they're poor, destitute, whatever. So, God Almighty, I just hope the whole world wakes up to what's going on in this world. This scamdemic, this plandemic, these people are absolutely demonic. These people, Fauci, Gates, Soros, too many others to name, within the government, they just keep pushing this shit. And until we push back, we're pretty much screwed. But I am hopeful that places like, in Canada, they're saying, no, we're not going to take this shit anymore. We're free people. And I'm going to probably punch out on this, but as William Wallace said, and he was a real person, Mel Gibson played the part of William Wallace, and much of it, maybe some of it was embellished, but most of it was based on fucking history. The Scots wanted their fucking freedom from the tyranny of the crown. And that's the same thing we're fighting for today. Same thing. There's a revolution in the United States and a revolution in Scotland. And these people are very much related. We want freedom.